Chapter 5. Kate. Kate didn't know how far she had sunk in the semi-floating state. Eyes closed tight, her mind raced through all the kinds of terrible possibilities of what might happen. She forced her eyes open, staring into the blackness and trying to think. Wait, what? There, she saw it again. Almost every 15 seconds or so, there was a faint lighter spot, about the size of a car, slowly inching up the wall as she went down. The spot was so faint that Kate wondered if she was imagining things. She rubbed her eyes and squinted, trying to bring the shapes into focus. Hope slowly started to burn in her chest, like the last ember of a small fire getting some new air. There was something more than just blackness down here. With a rush of energy, Kate shot her arms and legs out like a starfish once again, her previous fatigue forgotten. She wanted to hold herself in place so she could focus on the wall. It was so difficult to see through the tears caused by the rush of wind. She pulled her right arm in and wiped her eyes with the back of one hand. Much to her surprise, when she did that, she pitched down a bit in that direction, and forward too. What the? She tried with the other arm. The same reaction. A smile started to spread across her face. I can fly, she thought. By bringing her arms in, or putting one out farther, or pulling one or both of her legs closer to herself, she found that she could maneuver quite effectively around the small space, so long as she kept her tummy facing down. Ha! Kate shouted above the wind, then set to work. Adjusting her arms, she advanced, albeit slowly, towards the wall. Stretching her hand out, she could feel the cool earth slide past underneath her fingertips. She allowed herself to drift gently down towards the next faint spot below her, enjoying the sensation of touching something, even if it was only the hard-packed dirt wall of a bottomless hole. When she reached the spot, she could feel some kind of hard bump against her fingertips. Then the dirt was gone, replaced by open air and what looked like a small pinpoint of light in the distance. Then it was dark, and her fingers felt dirt again. Huh? The spot was an opening. The ember in her chest began to burn brighter. Kate steadied herself, trying not to let her excitement throw her off balance. She let her fingers gently play over the surface of the wall as she gradually approached the next faint spot far below, her excitement growing with every inch. When she finally arrived, she had the same experience. She could feel a hard, curved edge surrounding the emptiness, too deliberate to be a natural feature. Then a pinpoint of light, and then back to feeling dirt. It could only mean one thing. Someone or something must have made it, and it was a way out. Think. Kate's mind raced as the next opening got closer. I have to get in, she thought, and started to panic. She shook her head. Get a grip on yourself. Then an idea popped into her head. Grip. She had a plan. As the next opening approached, Kate stretched herself out as much as possible to slow herself down. When her fingers felt the bump along the edge of the opening, she gripped it as hard as she could, took a deep breath, and tucked her knees in towards her chest, using the momentum to swing her hips down towards the opening. Then, at just the right moment, she shot her legs out in front of her and released her grip. Kate's feet flew straight through the air into nothingness like she was on an invisible slide of air. A few seconds later, she landed hard on the ground, skidding to a stop. And just like that, it was over. She was out of the hole and in a tunnel instead. Kate took a long, deep breath and another. As her heart rate slowed, her shoulders slumped, and she let out a hoarse chuckle. And then, as the rush of everything that had just happened reached her brain, she rolled over and started to cry.